So, good evening. I'm Kathy Lamm, and I'm here to do a Facebook Live meditation for Edgar Casey's ARE. First, let's start by wishing Edgar Casey a wonderful happy birthday, 143-year birthday. And thank you all for joining me here today. And we are going to talk about the Akashic Records and Akashic Record meditation. So, when we think about what the Akashic Record is, Edgar Casey spoke of the Akashic Records and spoke of it being the book of life and it being a storehouse of all information. So the Akasha actually is a Sanskrit word that means ether, space, time. So when you think about Akashic Records, it is actually a recording of everything that has ever happened within time and space. It is every thought, it is every emotion, it is every action that has ever occurred within time and space. And not only is it everything that has ever happened, it's the current moment, and it's the future moment, and it's the probability of all future moments. Because it is everything that is occurring within that space of the Akash. So the record is simply a storehouse for that information. And we can access that information anytime. We can access it and do access it on a daily basis. Many of you have had synchronicities that have happened in your life. These are accessing the Akashic Records. Have you ever been to a place and you stepped on the ground and you knew that I've been here before, but you know that realistically you hadn't been there before? This is accessing the Akashic Record. When you think about someone and then all of a sudden they call you, this is also accessing the Akashic Record. So we do it all the time. Every person, every soul has its own Akashic Record. So everything that is living has a record. The earth itself has a record. The universe has a record. So when we think about crystals, I asked everyone to bring a crystal. When we think about crystals, and I brought my crystal, look at this wonderful, lovely thing here. Isn't it great? So when we think about crystals and the energy that they hold, we say that these crystals hold so much energy because they actually hold the record of the universe within them. If you hold a crystal up to the light, you can actually see all of the inclusions that are inside of that crystal. All of the different things that have affected it during its growth cycle. You can even see things on the outside that have affected it, where maybe an inanimate object or another point of a crystal may have come in touch with that crystal as it was growing and created a keyhole. These are all the records of existence. If we think about ourselves as a crystal and how we formed from birth, and we think about all of the things that have affected us, every tragedy that has ever happened or occurred in our life, maybe it was simply a word that was spoken to us. Maybe it was of encouragement. Maybe it was of despair. All of these things built us just as this crystal was built and grown through time and space. When we look at our own growth and our own Akashic Record, we see that lifetimes have accumulated within us and have created who we are as a soul. All of those things affect us in our daily life still today because they are part of our DNA, they are part of our memory, and they are part of our core makeup. So whenever we do meditation and we talk about doing past life, or we talk about doing specifically Akashic Record meditation, we are not only accessing that information from a previous lifetime, we're accessing all the information that is available to us as a soul our probable futures, our present, everything that we've experienced in this lifetime as well. So it's important to recognize that lifetimes are still memories. Far distant lifetimes are still memories within our DNA, within our cellular structure, and within our soul. And they do affect us in today. They affect us with phobias, fears. They affect us with the skill sets that we have and the talents that we bring forward, the knowledge that we hold that is written in our DNA. So when we talk about the Akashic record and accessing that information, it is simply accessing the storehouse, the infinite library of information that is here as a resource to us to help us with our daily lives. Now, all of us are going through a challenging time at the moment with the uncertainty of the world. We at the ARE firmly believe that meditation is a tool that anyone can use and should be using on a daily basis to help them connect to source energy and to help them get through these tough times by going within. So I highly recommend meditation. I feel blessed to be here tonight to share this meditation with you. And it will be a full guided, lengthy meditation, so I hope you're prepared to sit still for a bit and indulge me while we do this meditation together. So if you're all ready, I think we just need to take a big breath and just relax. Get into a very comfortable position. And be prepared to just receive information. Know that this time is for you, that this time and space that you've set aside is for your soul and your soul's journey. And just go ahead and close your eyes for me and relax. And take a deep breath. Take a deep breath in all the way to the base of your spine and exhale out of the top of your head. And do that again. Breathe in all the way to the base of your spine and exhale out of the top of your head. And just simply one more time, and relax. Get in a very comfortable position. And just become aware of your feelings and the physical sensations in your body. Notice how your body feels in the chair where you're sitting or lying. Notice how your feet feel on the ground or in your shoes. Notice your arms, your hands, your posture. Just notice how your head and your shoulders and your neck feels. You may notice various sounds in your environment or catch a scent of something in the air. Just notice all the sensations that you're feeling, seeing, hearing, even tasting. And realize how these feelings and sensations may change and alter from second to second, from minute to minute, hour to hour, and yet you remain. And now contemplate any emotions, if any, that you may be feeling or experiencing right now. and notice their quality. And realize how these emotions may alter and change from minute to minute, hour to hour, day to day, and yet you remain. And now contemplate any thoughts or ideas that may be occurring in your mind. Any random thoughts as they ebb and flow. Not mooring into any of them, but just being aware. And realize how continuous flow of thoughts may alter from hour to hour, from day to day, month to month, and yet you remain. Your feelings, sensations, emotions, and thoughts are only a part of you. Your core is distinct from all of these, separate, yet still a part of you. You are like a vast blue sea, and your feelings, sensations, emotions, and thoughts are the fish that swiftly swim through that sea. The sea includes them. They are a part of the sea, and yet they are distinct from the sea. The sea itself remains. Let's just take a deep breath now. Very good. As I continue to speak, you'll find it easier to focus only on my words and your inner experience. You should be feeling safe and comfortable at this time. Now compare your mind to the surface of a quiet pond. On the surface, everything looks peaceful and still. But below the surface, there is great depth and much is happening. You can begin to think of my voice as a whispering through the trees along the shore. Just take a deep breath now and focus on my words and your inner experience. Perhaps you'll begin to notice some drifting occurring. Perhaps you may be feeling light or heavy. Allow your mind to remain alert although your body sleeps. Know that you're in full control of this process and safe at all times. As more and more significance is given to your inner world and your inner experience. Stored deeply in your unconscious mind are memories of other times and places. Your conscious mind can reach those memories And in a moment from now, you will begin a series of exercises that will lead you to recall those memories. I invite you to step into an environment that makes you feel safe and comfortable. Step into that environment now in your mind. It could be a woodland or garden, a meadow, a beach, a mountainside, or a place you simply make up. Allow yourself to experience the sights and sounds of that place now. Smell the smells. Feel the air and the energy. And you come upon a path meandering through your scene that is familiar to you. The sights and sounds now becoming more vivid and clear. The smells more pleasant. And this is your dreamscape. As you notice now ahead of you some kind of a structure, perhaps a temple in the center of your sacred space. It feels both safe and familiar to you. This is your own inner resource, the recording that all of your soul experiences through eternity exist. Your Akashic record. Explore the environment now outside of the structure, but don't go in just yet. Enjoy the experience using all of your senses, feeling, hearing, smelling, touching. And when you're ready, you may go inside. Upon entering, you discover a long, curving hallway of mirrors. Even if the structure appeared small from the outside, you find that it's vast on the inside. As the mirrors are lined along the curving hall, you may notice that they all look different. Some of the frames in dark wood, some in light, some in different materials. Some mirrors may be ornate, some plain. Some frames may be decorated or carved, ordained with jewels. There may be some mirrors that are oval, some that are rectangular, even different irregular shapes. Each one appears different than the other. And the mirrors seem to line the hallways endlessly as you walk through, spiraling. As you look into these mirrors, you see different versions of yourself at different ages in your life. You might even see yourself familiar in these mirrors at different ages of this life experience. As you look, you may see different versions of you from other lifetimes. And you may find yourself drawn to a particular mirror. Go to that mirror now. As you look into the mirror, you can see a clear vision of yourself. And watch as it turns into a soft mist, allowing you to transform through it. Walk through that shimmering surface now and view the mirror from the other side. As you begin to experience yourself as you once were, looking into that mirror, you feel a sense of shifting time and space. Know that you will be guided safely back to the present moment when you are ready to return. And look at yourself in the mirror. What do you look like? What gender are you? What age? Do you know your name? Do you notice any distinctive physical characteristics? What are you wearing? Pay attention now to your feet. Do you see the covering on your feet? Feel the earth below. Now I want you to turn your attention to your outside environment. Just look around. What do you see? Can you tell what time period it is? Look at the terrain, the structures, the buildings, the mode of transportation. What kind of clothing are people wearing? Is there anyone there you recognize? Is anyone saying anything to you? Now, staying within that life experience, go back to a time when you were about 5 years old and notice your surroundings. At 5 years old, what's going on around you? Who's there with you? What is significant about this moment in time? Again, staying within that life experience. Move forward to about the age of 16. And once again, notice what's going on around you. Who is there with you? What is significant about this moment? Now, staying within that life experience, I want you to move to a time, a moment, when something significant transpired in that life. Go to that moment now. What are you experiencing? Who is there with you? Just allow yourself to experience this moment as an observer with no emotional connection. Pulling in all the information you deem useful in this life experience. What do you wish to process about this experience? Just allow yourself to bring all of that information with vision and clarity, vivid. Heightening all your senses. And gather in all you glean useful. And in a moment from now, I'm going to ask you to proceed to the moment of your death in that life experience. When you do so, you will experience it only as an observer with no emotional connection to the experience. Now move forward to just the moments prior to your death in that life experience. What is the scene? Who is there with you? What are you dying of? Now, with no emotional connection, allow yourself to go through the moment of death, experiencing only as an observer recalling the event with all detail. And before you leave this experience, ask your higher self, what lessons were you to learn from that lifetime? And now ask your higher self, what should you leave behind in that lifetime that does not serve your current life experience? Set intentions to leave that behind now. Now I ask you to prepare for your journey back, to slowly return back to the pond, bringing back all the information you deemed useful for this current life experience, bringing it back with full clarity. In a moment, I'm going to count backwards from 10. And as I do, come fully back into the room, into your current present existence. Slowly back through the lifetimes, through the years, into what we call the now. As you return with complete and full awareness of this experience, knowing that all the details could be easily recalled. In a moment, after counting backwards from 10, you will be wide awake, refreshed, feeling alert. 10, stepping firmly back into the present. 9, feeling totally normal on every level of your being. 8, feeling your life energy returning to your extremities now. 7, you may want to begin moving your fingers and your toes. 6, remember what you did here and accomplished. 5, realize you did very, very well. 4, you're coming into your full potential now. 3, revitalizing. 2, slowly open your eyes. And 1, wide awake and fully present. So thank you all for taking this time with me this evening. I hope that this was an interesting experience, if not a very enlightening one. This was my first Facebook Live event, so it was very interesting for me to be presenting this material without said audience, and I hope that you enjoyed it. I would appreciate any comments that you may have or questions that you have on the stream. I will definitely do my best to answer them, and I bid you all a very wonderful good night, and thank you for being here.